Hey everyone, this is Prati. This is my birthday month and I'm turning 24 this year. So in today's video, I will be talking about 24 books that I'm glad I read before turning 24. So in today's video, I will be talking about 24 and I've divided those 24 books into fiction and non-fiction. I won't be rating them because after all of these are my favorite books. However, I will be talking about why I like that book and why it is on the list. And the non-fiction books will be less than the fiction books because most of the non-fiction books that I read are my textbooks. And if I include them in the list, then the video would be 100 books I read before 24. If you would like to know what I'm currently reading, make sure you follow me on Goodreads and we can share recommendations. So let's get started. First, I will talk about all the fiction books, and the first fiction book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This is a beautifully written book about adventure and finding one's purpose. This book is for everyone. No matter what you're going through in life, you will be able to relate to this book. Usually when people come to me for book recommendations, especially when they're trying to cultivate a reading habit, this is the book that I recommend them to. The next book is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. If you've watched my last video about books versus movies, you know how much I love this book. What I really like about this book is how extraordinarily this ordinary story is written. This is a story about love, passion, and it makes you grateful about the little things that you have in life. The next book is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is a story about four sisters living in a small house with their parents. This book teaches you how luxuries cannot buy happiness in life and how everyone is different and how everyone excel in different things, and it also teaches you the importance of love in your life. The next book is Little Coffee Shop of Kabul. The story, as you can imagine from the title, is about a little coffee shop in Afghanistan. The story involves around 5 very different women who meet there and about the daily lives of Afghanistan, especially Kabul, goes about. A very insightful book and I recommend this to everyone. The next book is Number the Stars. This book is set in Copenhagen during the time of World War II, where a 10-year-old girl is so scared about the changing situations in her city, but even then she helps her Jewish best friend and her family to escape. It is a wonderful story about courage and bravery and friendship. The sixth is a very special book to me. It's by Jonathan Coe and it's called The Rotters Club. It has such an immaculate story. The book is set in Birmingham in the 1970s. Now, I read this book when I was in the UK and I could really relate to the author when he was describing about the places, the cities, and I think that is one of the reasons that I am so fond of this book. It is a story about 3 teenage boys who are amidst their growing process and they're witnessing changes around them as the world proceeds towards a new decade, and its involvement with IRA bombs, rock music, political strife, and girls. One interesting thing about the book, apart from the storyline and the characters, is that this book has the longest sentence in the English language. It is around 13,955 words long. So that is something you can check it out. Seventh is 11 Minutes by Paulo Coelho. It is a story about a young Brazilian girl who has been heartbroken at a very tender age and now she thinks that she can never find true love. It is a story about Maria, the young Brazilian, and her journey of self-exploration. The next book is Time Traveler's Wife. I've already talked about this book in length in my last video, so if you want to watch, you can watch it here. Why this is on my list is because the book had the potential of being extremely confusing because of the story and because of the timeline. However, the writer did a phenomenal job in writing a coherent sequence that will never make you as a reader question as to what is going on. So that is the reason I really like this book. It has become a book to remember for me. The next 2 books, book 9 and book 10, are Boy in the Striped Pajamas and Perks of Being a Wallflower. Both of the books I have talked about in length and why I like them in my last video, so make sure you check that out. The next book is Hippie by Paulo Coelho. This book is a semi-biographical work of Paulo's. It is based mostly on Paulo's own life and therefore it is a story about a young Brazilian boy who wants to be a writer and a Dutch woman who wants a companion to travel to Nepal. They both meet in Amsterdam and she convinces him to hop on the magic bus to travel from Amsterdam to Istanbul, through Central Asia to Kathmandu. This story is about this life-changing journey of both of their lives. The next book is by Cecilia Ahern. It's called If You Could See Me Now. This book explores the idea of how when you're little and you have imaginary friends who help you through your newfound life. A very sweet book about passion, love, and friendship. The next two books are by Paulo Coelho. The first one is Manuscript Found in Accra. It is a story about a manuscript which was found in 1974 by an English archaeologist, and it turned out that the manuscript was in fact written in 1307. The manuscript is full of parables and lessons about the meaning of life, love, friendship, bravery, and so much more, including the reasons of human fears and human anxieties. And the other is The Witch of Portobello. This book revolves around a central question. How do we find the courage to be always true to ourselves, even if we are unsure of who we are? It is a story about a woman called Athena, told by everyone who knew her and who hardly knew her in her life. The next is The Fall by Albert Camus. It is a classic book. It is a story about a condescending man who contemplates upon his life to a stranger. I have talked about this book in length in my April wrap-up, so if you want to know about this book, check that out. The next book is Jane Eyre. It's again a classic book, and I think most of you have already read it. The story is about a young girl who is an orphan and who felt like an outcast and a misfit her entire youth. The story talks about her courage and about how she falls in love. The next book and the last fiction book is by Virginia Woolf. It's called A Room of One's Own. It's not really a fiction, it's sort of an essay where the author ponders upon the topic of women and fiction. I will be talking about this book more in length in my June wrap-up, so make sure you watch that. So now let's talk about non-fiction books. The next book is Mistakes Were Made But Not By Me. This book is again going to be in my June wrap-up, where I will talk in length about this book. This book is about cognitive dissonance, so if you want to know about this book more, make sure you watch that video. The next book is called The Present by Spencer Johnson. It teaches you to be grateful and how to fully be present in your present. The next is also by Spencer Johnson, and it's called Who Moved My Cheese. This book teaches about the changes in your life, whether you dread change or you enjoy change. These two books were in my last year's 5 books to read during quarantine. So if you want to know more about this book, check that video out. The next is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. In this book, Jay Shetty talks about the ways that monks live their life. He tells us that you don't have to leave everything and go live in isolation to be a monk. You can simply learn to think like one. If you're looking some motivation in your life, make sure to check this book out. And now the last 3 books. Since I'm a physicist, this list would not be complete with some physics, pop science books. I'm not a big fan of pop science. I feel that pop science should be used to instill a sense of curiosity among young minds, and if you want to proceed in the subject and know more about it, definitely pick a textbook. The first is, and I think everyone knows what this book is, it's called A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Like I said, that pop science should be used to instill a sense of curiosity. This is exactly why I read it. I read it when I was really young, and that is exactly what this book did. It made me curious and ask questions about everything. The next is Something Deeply Hidden by Sean Carroll. This book talks about the many interpretations of quantum mechanics, especially many worlds interpretation. It's a little higher in the hierarchy of pop science. It's still a pop science, but you may find it a little difficult to read. If you want to know more about this book, I have talked in great depth in my May wrap-up, so make sure you check it out. And the last book is for everyone. You're a physicist, you're not a physicist, I think you will really enjoy it. It's called For the Love of Physics. In this book, Professor Walter, the author of this book, talks about all those physics phenomenon that we experience every day, but we don't know the physics behind them. So he explains them such beautifully, with such grace, in a simple way for everyone to understand. So these were the 24 books that I am so glad I read before turning 24, and I think everyone should read them. If you have more books to recommend me and you think I should read them before turning 24, I still have time. Recommend them. So until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!